Let's discuss what, in my opinion, are the most influential farms. The farms that everyone should build as soon as they enter a world. Now, we're not talking about the best farms. We're talking about the most influential ones. There are a few things that we all need, regardless of our individual skill or playstyles. We all need food, rockets, experience, wood, and we all mine blocks. And there are 4 farms that help provide all of these basic essentials. So that's what we're going to discuss. Undoubtedly, the most influential farm is a village trader iron farm. Not only getting the iron to craft beacons and hoppers and stuff, but the villagers. Look at all these cats. But villagers provide experience, a really great source of experience. And they provide food and blocks and glowstone and quartz and gear and enchantments and just everything you could possibly need all in one place. Now, even though they are so beneficial, I wouldn't say that they're overpowered. Like dealing with villagers and flipping through trades, that's not fun. Nobody thinks that's fun. It takes hours. But at the bare minimum, just having a couple of farmers, like infinite food, good food at that, like golden carrots, and infinite experience. A lot of people build farms like specifically for experience. Or especially recently, you have like armadillo farms and silverfish farms and stuff like that. But just like one villager, one farmer, and like some crops, and you have infinite experience. And not only experience, but you have good food. You have golden carrots. It's just hard to beat that, really. Now, the second most influential farm is a mob farm. Just a regular old scaffolding mob farm that generates skeletons and creepers and zombies and stuff. And you don't have to build it, this huge. You could build like a tiny one, even like a super teeny tiny one. And actually, I would recommend building a mob farm near your base, which I have made a video on how to build a mob farm at your base that just uses fall damage. You don't even really need to get looting if the farm is active 24/7 while you're at your base. The reason I would say that a mob farm is one of the most influential, and not like a creeper farm or a ghast farm or something, is that it gives you such a diverse set of items. It gives you bones for bone meal. It gives you gunpowder for rockets. It gives you flesh to trade. It gives you string to make scaffolding, and spider eyes to make potions to cure villagers. The villagers are the most influential ones, so we want to cure them. So it's nice to have the spider eyes from that. And ever since they increased the amount of redstone that you get from witch drops, just regular old mob farms produce a ton of redstone. And so you get so many things from rockets to trades to bones for bone meal. Just all of that stuff that normal mobs provide. And again, having that active at your base is just so invaluable. And same way with the iron farm, every time I start a game, the first thing I build is an iron farm with villagers. Then the second thing I build is a mob farm near this iron farm. I measure out spawn distance from the iron farm so that when I'm inside the iron farm, the mob farm is working at full efficiency. And I just use fall damage. Nothing super fancy or anything. But we can even use a toggleable trident killer to your in-base mob farm. So you're getting the fall damage when you're running around building. But if you ever decide to take a break, go eat some food or something, you can make a toggleable trident killer that normally the mobs just fall down to their death. But if you turn on the toggleable trident killer, well, now it's for dedicated AFK sessions where you can hold your looting sword, get looting, and even make an experience funnel or something if you want to. But mainly just improving the rates by killing the mobs faster and get looting from your in-base mob farm. Now, the third most influential farm, in my opinion, doesn't even really have to be a farm, but it's bamboo. Just having a small patch of bamboo near your base, It's so useful. Infinite wood, infinite chests, infinite sticks for torches, for redstone components. If you have just a teeny tiny patch of bamboo like this size growing near your base, you have more chests than you could ever need. You have more sticks than you could ever need. You have, scaffolding. If you get some string from your mob farm, well, now you have infinite scaffolding. And then after early game, you can just upgrade it into like any other type of bamboo farm, like a flying machine one for a massive area, or like a more AFK one with pistons, or one of these other designs that I've tutorialed out. Like, bamboo is great. It's a wood farm for crafting. Unless you want to build out of bamboo planks. Just having wood. So many things take wood, like pistons and torches and chests. And, having an easy access source of infinite wood, especially early on, is just so valuable. And I mean, even a tiny patch gives you stacks and stacks of chests every time you harvest it. Just like cutting down just like a handful, if we run around and pick it up. You don't even have to pick it all up, really. I usually let a bunch of it despawn. But I mean, just from that, we have over 2 stacks of bamboo. And that took, what, like 3 seconds? It's just one of the most influential items. Not even necessarily farms. Just like, again, having a patch of bamboo means that you have infinite chests, infinite torches, infinite wood. And those are really the big 3, in my opinion. Like, other farms are for specific goals. Like a cactus farm, of course, is just for like green dye. But even like a big gunpowder farm, like a creeper farm, right? If you're not making TNT, what do you need that gunpowder for? If you just have a simple mob farm, that's more than enough gunpowder to make rockets, for you to just waste rockets flying around everywhere. So unless you're building like a world eater or a tunnel borer or something that uses massive amounts of TNT, there's no real point in building a dedicated gunpowder farm. Whereas with the big 3, like, we all need a source of good food. We all need a source of rockets. We all need a source of experience and wood. Those things are important no matter what playstyle you have. Now, while we're here, it's definitely worth an honorable mention. A Piggy Trader is not going to dramatically impact your playstyle. It doesn't provide you with anything that's really necessary. But it does provide just an absolute ton of different things. Like getting obsidian without having to mine it is so valuable. And it gives you quartz for redstone stuff. It gives you tons of different blocks. It even gives you fun stuff like ender pearls and whatever those fire charge things are called. And really one of the most influential or valuable things provided from this farm, other than obsidian and quartz, is the fire resistance potions. I've started carrying a fire resistance potion on me at all times in my hotbar, even in the overworld. Because there are times that we're just not paying much attention and we fall down into lava. So carrying a single potion can save your life. Now, of course, for a Piggy Trader, you will need a gold farm, which I don't like portal ticking gold farms, so this is what I build. And like, I've been wanting to kind of revisit this design to try to see if we can prevent the turtle eggs from ever being crushed. Because if you AFK this for like hours and hours and hours and hours, the turtle eggs will eventually get stepped on. Not like all of them, just a couple of them. But I have an idea of how we can resolve that by having like another set of turtle eggs down at the bottom so that we can expand the collection area for the mobs and not just drop them straight into trident killers. But anyway, we're getting off topic. So like a Piggy Trader with a gold farm is not going to change the way you play the game. And it's not going to provide you with necessary fundamental things like food and wood and gunpowder for rockets. But it is going to give you some really nice things like obsidian. Just obsidian alone, again, not having to spend that time, is fantastic. Plus your fire resistance potions. But I would say the 4th most influential farm is actually a wither skull farm. And now you don't even have to like measure out spawn spots and stuff like that. Like you can just build a single bait trap with no roses and like just get infinite skulls. In fact, what I do in my own gameplay is I just build one of these. Just like this. Like no roses, no spawn spots, no nothing. I just build a single one of these, and then I build like a safe house up here, and then I just like wait for stuff to spawn. And I mean, in 10 minutes, you get enough skulls to craft several beacons. And because that's really what's beneficial about this farm, is being able to mass craft beacons. Beacons are the most influential item. You know, like I said, bamboo is like the most influential item, but really like beacons, having that mine speed bonus saves you an infinite amount of time whenever you do anything, whether it's collecting blocks or building farms, or even when you're building a giant castle, times that you make a mistake and misplace a block, if you have a haste beacon going, that just saves you a bunch of time. Like, haste beacons are just absolutely invaluable. And, oh, that's why things aren't spawning. I actually built a mob switch down here. I totally forgot about that. But anyway, so yeah, again, I would say that the 4 most beneficial farms, no matter your playstyle, is an iron farm trader that gives you experience, food, redstone, and blocks, and gear. And then we have a mob farm that gives you rockets, it gives you bone meal, it gives you random items and redstone and stuff. And then we have bamboo for wood and chests. And then we have the wither skull farm, which gives you a ton of bones. It gives you coal for torches. And we all know how important torch spam is. For like for caving, you can just shred through torches while you're caving. You know, so it gives you coal for torches, it gives you bone for bone mealers, but it gives you skulls for beacons. And even if you don't like fighting the wither, you can build a suffocator for the wither. Like, I don't have any videos on that because there's basically only one suffocator that we can build right now, and it's at specific Y coordinates down at Bedrock. But yeah, you know, if you don't like fighting the wither, you can just build a suffocator, and being able to build beacons all over the place with the iron from your iron farm, you know, that will speed up everything about your gameplay. I always hear people talking about how expensive blocks are, you know, or how hard it is to get enough blocks to build like a simple farm. When, if you have a beacon, even just one beacon, you can move that beacon around and you can get tens of thousands of blocks in just a couple of minutes. Like, easy peasy. And then the 5th most influential farm, or I would say the most lucrative farm, would be a gold farm plus a piggy trader. It's not as influential as the other farms that we talked about, but getting free obsidian, free potions and other stuff is just really, really nice. But let me know what you thought about the audio in this video. I did a live recording this time, so I hope it was enjoyable, and I hope it wasn't too distracting. I end up spending a ton of time editing audio whenever I do like a dedicated recording. You know, not only do I like design the machine, figure out what order to record it in, record it, re-record it, but really the audio recording time is the killer part, because I end up re-recording the same sentence like 15 times. So if I can get these live recordings to be, you know, somewhat entertaining or popular or whatever, it would help me a lot being able to talk about more organic topics in like a more organic way. You know, and it would save me a little bit of time in my video production. You know, like I'm never going to live record the audio for tutorials, because I want to keep quality as high as I possibly can. But talking about some of these ethereal topics, you know, like, I think it would be fine. You know, so again, I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you would like to see in the future. Head over to the Discord to talk to us there. And, yeah. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, if you did, don't forget to like, favorite, share, and subscribe. Always remember that you are totally awesome. But above all, don't forget to have fun. Bye-bye.